All right, everybody. My guest today is a 20-year tourism veteran who has become one of the industry's foremost voices on how technology and data are shaping the future of visitor engagement. He spent years working to grow flight seeing companies in the Grand Canyon, Las Vegas, and the Hawaiian Islands. Today, he's the head of tourism at Satisfi Labs, where he helps destinations, attractions, and tour companies leverage AI technology to enhance guest interactions and drive sales. Dan Flores, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Brian, thanks for having me.
I am.
The intro sounded great. I don't think of it that way, but thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's amazing. You get in a couple decades in this business, and all of a sudden people say he's an expert, and you're like, wait, what?
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
Interested.
No, I'm super glad to have you here, and I want to dive right into things. I saw a headline just the other day saying it's been 3 years since ChatGPT launched, and kind of kickstarted this revolution in AI that some people kind of predicted was coming, but nobody was ready for it. I feel like, in 2022, it really did kind of revolutionize the world. What can you tell us about the past 3 years and how AI has progressed in that time?
I mean, it's moved faster than any other technology that we've seen in the past, and that's why I think that uh, almost the extreme nature of us saying, "Hey, you can't wait on this stuff." It's because it's been moving faster than anything that we've seen. One of my favorite stats is, you know, tech companies to 1 million users. I think Instagram was 90 days, and that was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And they had quite the head start, right?
Mhm.
ChatGPT, when it dropped, did it in
Wow.
9 days. And when you look at like where the technology is when they dropped in November of 2022 to where it is today, launching multiple versions, multiple new companies coming up, technologies and applications that are being built on top of this technology. It is just moving at a pace, and we're seeing the adoption move at a pace that we've just never seen before. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a incredible 3 years, and if you look at the stuff that we can do today, it's the worst it's ever going to be right now. And the advancements that I'm using 20 different applications on a daily basis for really everything that I do. There's not one piece of work that comes across my desk that doesn't hit some sort of AI to it.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That is something I think a lot of our listeners are going to say, that's insane, because I just use ChatGPT to write emails for me that I don't want to write. But I never dreamed that I could be integrating it into almost every part of my day. So walk me through that a little bit. Give us some examples of how you're using these tools in your personal life, in your work life. How is it, legitimately saving you time, making you more effective or better at what you do?
Yeah, I'll start with work first, because essentially we talk a lot about your aha moment of when you get like obsessed with these tools. And it's, for me, it was the first time that it actually took work off of my plate that I didn't want to do.
Hmm.
I admittedly am awful at Excel. I do not like it. I have never liked it. I hate it. And it takes me probably 3 times as long to do anything in Excel than it should. The first time I used AI to actually write a quotient for me, was able to copy and paste it directly in, and it worked. And I went, oh, this is incredible. I never have to do this stuff again. That's when my journey started of just going, oh, what can I use this technology for? How many different areas of my day can I use it in? And I'll take a typical day now. I run the tourism division for Satisfi Labs. So we do a lot of the new business, the current business that we have, product work. If I'm researching a new company, let's say a tour company, and then we have a demo pitch coming up, I will take that URL. I will put it into a tool called Notebook LM. I will have it I'll put a prompt into Notebook and say something along the lines of, Satisfi Labs is pitching this new tour company on ways that they can use the Satisfi Labs AI platform to make their business more efficient. Can you please put into a podcast 10, 15 minutes long, all the interesting things that we could bring up in a demo and show them to help make their business more efficiently? And then I will literally put my headphones in. It turns it into uh, I put a casual tone on it. I want male, female, casual tone, and have pull out all the interesting talking points that I could bring up in a demo and show them. And I will put that into my headphones and I'll listen to it while I walk the dog, while I'm outside doing something, or while I'm literally just sitting here working. As I get into that demo, I will walk into it and you'll be like, how did this guy know so much about our company? I took 10 minutes to do a little research. Now, I used to do that prior, but that would take hours of me reading through your websites, pulling all the information up, seeing where we could do this. I can do it in just seconds with an AI tool and then listen to it, which for me, I learn better that way, audioly. So that's a huge thing right there. Going through my emails on a personal basis, I just ran a marathon. I had ChatGPT actually produce a training program for me based on a bunch of information that I gave it. I had a really good time, which I was like, this is amazing. I didn't have to buy anything. I didn't have to consult a personal trainer. It can literally be in every single part of your life now, which is, I mean, kind of insane, but at the same time, very useful and efficient.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was over the Thanksgiving holiday. My wife was working on putting together a scavenger hunt for like our kids and nieces and nephews for Christmas, and she wanted to like have it rhyming clues and all this stuff. And she's like, Brian, I think I've got the first clue down, but would you just like, can I read it to you and tell me what you think of it? And I said, hold on, Laura, you don't need to do any of this by hand. Like, let's just go to Chat GPT, ask it to create the scavenger hunt for us. And next thing you know, it did. I mean, it was, 10 seconds. It was a 10 clue scavenger hunt and it all rhymed and it had the names of our kids in it. And she's like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. So yeah,
Yeah, so
absolutely cool.
cool.
Yeah, for sure. So many different ways to use it. But let's talk about travel in specific because travel is so tactile, it's so personal, it's so real time. How do you see AI shaping up to impact, let's say, a tour company or a travel professional who, at the end of the day, is still taking real people on a trip to see a real place?
I think there's a lot of use cases, and let's look at just from like an operational efficiency side. People have questions. As simple as a company like what we do at Satisfi Labs, putting together a conversational AI platform to answer questions on your website or any channel that you're communicating with possible clients in, to where they can ask you anything about your business or the tours that you operate, any operational questions whenever they want, get the information instantly back. And then as you go on, by what people ask you, the platform gets better and better and better. At its first day, it'll still be probably one of the best employees you have from a customer service basis because you can set the tone, you can set the knowledge base of what it knows and what it can and can't answer, and it never takes time off. That's just one like simple thing that you can do right now. Get it on your site. Most tour companies have some sort of whether it's you know one or two people answering the phones on a daily basis, or some have a full staff of call center agents. There's things that people ask repetitively over and over and over again that you can just automate that as it goes. As a sales tool, we know that people are more likely to ask an operational based question before they buy
Hmm.
over 80% of the time. We have a toddler at home, and I ask questions of what I can do with her and like what I can bring for her before I can buy anything. So if I'm going to go on your tour, your family, based tour, I'm going to need to know, like, can I bring the stroller? Can we bring our own outside food on this tour? You answer those two things immediately, I might be ready to buy right then.
Wow.
Now, if you look at like what the process is now, I either have to read your entire website, go find your FAQ page, see if it has the information, but you're making me do a lot of work. Or I have to pick up the phone. I have to call you. I have to hope that it's within your business hours. And then if it's not, because, I have a toddler, we don't do anything till 8 o'clock at night after she goes to bed.
Right.
If you're not there, I have to actually follow your prompt of like, okay, now let me send you an email or let me fill out this form online and then submit it and then wait for you to get back to me. That is a high friction process.
Yeah.
Where you want to lower that friction to then give me the best opportunity to buy like right then. And that's just real simple things that you can do like right now. Internally, you should be using AI to efficiently throughout every department that you have, whether it's a marketing department, whether it's your operations teams, communication, PR. These can all be enhanced right now, like instantly. And I think the biggest thing is I've been I think you mentioned it, 20 plus years in tourism. I've never worked for a company that had too many people.
Mm.
We're always short staffed.
Yep.
Everyone always wears lots of hats. AI can be your assistant in every one of these departments today.
Yeah.
With just some time, some effort, maybe some innovation funds that you're like, could we help with this? If you hire summer interns or you have seasonal hires that go up and down that we know are tough every year, the training process, all of that can be level set right now with AI tools in our industry. That's why I think it's so important.
Yeah. Lots of potential there. You mentioned, an AI chatbot or some kind of digital assistant that people could use on your website, let's say, before they book with you. I know I've had experience with those chatbots that has left me pretty disappointed, pretty frustrated, especially the ones where it says, it just wants me to choose from a couple options. And it's not really listening to me. It's not really paying attention to what I'm saying. Um, what do we do to fix that? In tourism, how do you get that chatbot on your site that is intelligent, that's actually going to parse out the meaning behind people's questions and give them meaningful answers and not just like, links to an irrelevant FAQ page?
Yeah, it's funny, the negative connotation around chatbots is real, but it's fastly going away.
Mm.
And the reason why is because generative AI has made that very easy. The past, and this is Satisfi Lab started in 2016, so we were building a lot of these chatbots, and the problem was you couldn't store that much data in one area to then cover every department or lots of different topics around your business in one chat container. So, as we got a little bit better at that, the idea for Satisfi Labs was we'd have individual assistants for each one of these things. And our first client was a baseball team. So if you think from like it was actually the New York Mets, that you need a specific chatbot on parking, a specific chatbot on ticketing, a specific chatbot on food and beverage, just those like 3 assistants. And then what you had to do is just say, okay, your question now, which bucket do we put that in? With generative AI and what we're able to do now is the amount of knowledge that we can put into these containers is it's massive. So now, not only can they know a little bit about all these topics, they can know everything about every one of these topics. And the real secret sauce is on your side as the company, is controlling what you want to answer and what you do not want to answer.
Hmm.
You'll never want to answer 100% of people's questions because people are weird and they ask weird stuff, and that's just fact. And what questions and what topics make the most sense for our business that is helpful in a conversational nature. So I don't feel like I'm talking to a chatbot. I feel like I'm having a conversation with something that's very knowledgeable, and it gets me my information like digitally when I want it, instantly. And then if I want that to pass to someone, I'm coming in with a lot of knowledge. Hopefully that, whether it's a sales cycle or that conversation, whether it's a customer service issue, is actually cut down in time because you've answered the stuff that you wanted to answer. And now a human needs to get involved to put that special touch on, whether it's the resolution of something or the sales process.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now, talk to me about how a travel company would go about training that agent on their website. I'm assuming you give it some of your internal materials, or you have it read some pages on your website. But how does that process work? How does the agent learn all about my company to then be able to answer customer questions?
There's a couple ways. So, and I'll talk from a Satisfy Labs point of view on this, because there is a build versus buy.
Okay.
What can I build myself? And what do I need to bring in an expert company in to then build for us? Now, the way that we do this is that we will take all of the information from your website. We will take any internal documentation that you have. That can be training materials, that can be um, internal handbooks and tone guides, things that marketing puts together. And we'll put all this into what we call a knowledge container, um, and build that out. Now, the real success of this is after we launch, is the optimization of listening to what people are telling you. Uh, Chat data is zero party data, which means your customers are willingly telling you what they want, what they need, the issues that they have. And then our job is we come in and we optimize that knowledge based on what people are asking you and what they want to know from you. So it continues to get better and better and better as we go on, because we're listening to what people need. And then if you take that and you use that to go into like other departments, like if people are asking you about specific types of tours and things that you don't have, or add-ons that you don't offer, we got product ideas there,
Yeah.
right? I know I need to go out and get this. Or if they're asking about certain things that I can take and make that into a marketing campaign, it's probably going to convert higher than stuff that I think, because we're actually taking what customers are telling you and then you're using that to convert into like a marketing campaign. So if you're building it yourself, you can still do a lot of those things. But we like to say the 80% of the way there is really easy to do. The real magic happens in that last 20, which is that's where it gets really difficult. And when we talk about build versus buy, that's when we move into it. It's tough. This is probably something that you should buy. And with the low cost to entry now, these systems used to be really expensive. Well, it's gotten a lot easier. Now we don't have to focus on the first 80. We can really hone in on the last 20%, which makes our jobs a lot easier.
Yeah, that makes sense. So the hot word that I'm hearing now in AI circles is agentic. That's a little bit of a newfangled word, I guess, for the newfangled times we're living in. Explain to me what agentic AI is, and what the opportunities are for people who are selling travel.
Yeah, it's funny. The terminology has changed so much, and it's like the very few people actually know the difference between when someone's saying like chatbots, assistants. Now you're getting into agents and what qualities are like agentic qualities to an agent. Essentially, the easiest way to look at this is agentic AI means that it can perform workflows and tasks for you.
Hmm.
Now, I'll give a quick example. Like I had my boiler cleaned because I live in New England and we're getting, winter is coming, and I have to get it cleaned every year. It's kind of a painstaking process. You have to call multiple companies, find the dates, fill out these forms online. They're not super tech savvy when it comes to their websites. I actually just went to agent mode in ChatGPT. I gave it a bunch of information about what I was looking for, what I wanted, and I sent it out to go perform this task for me, which was find a company and make a reservation.
Hmm.
I put it all in. I went back to doing what I was doing for it was like 5 hours, almost 6 hours later. Um, I I got the information. I got a text message from a local HVAC company here in Bristol, Rhode Island, and sure enough, it had made a reservation for me.
Yeah.
Now, take that to travel, and what that means is that if I have a specific question and need to set up a meeting, let's say let's say it's a B2B thing, and my company wants to use this tour company to provide let's say a group outing for us, you can actually have it set questions back and forth to qualify that lead out. Once it qualifies the lead and I go, yeah, I would love to speak to someone about booking this. That's a high revenue opportunity. There might be someone specific on your team that doesn't take your FIT tour questions or, the general person that wants to book this, but they do high revenue stuff. It will sort that lead and send it directly to that person.
Mm.
That's creating a workflow and a task driven agent that actually does things for you. That's a big difference between a chatbot just answering questions and then pointing you somewhere where then you have to go and do a bunch of things. So that's the easiest way to explain it.
Yeah.
And we are getting heavily into agentic agents that have workflows, tasks, OKRs, objectives, and key results. Because like, if you're going to hire this agent to do things for you, how do you measure its success? Just like a person would, you would give them goals. You would give them a job description of what they're supposed to do and what the results that you're looking for as a company should be. That's how these agents are being set up now. So that you can actually track that, all those different metrics, how many online leads is it creating for our company, and so on.
Yeah. So let's talk about that example of the company that cleaned your boiler. I assume there is more than one company in Bristol that could have done that. So is it the case that the company that you ended up hiring through this agent had done some legwork ahead of time to make sure their system was able to take that AI reservation, and that maybe their competitors had not done that work, and that's why they got the business from you? Or is that too simple?
No, and honestly, the reason why it took so long is because the agent had to go scrape all of the information off of all of the websites. It had to see who had forms that it could fill out for me. It was very simple,
Mm.
name, email address, cell phone number, which my internal ChatGPT has that information already. I've already given it to him. I did give it some prompts on what types of companies, how many to break this down into, and then like where it should go. I gave it a date range that I wanted it to. So if there wasn't information on that, it would exclude them.
Mm.
Now in the future, and I say in the future because it's already happening now, but it's just not widely being used right now. Is that agent, if you had an agent set up on your end, they could talk to each other in the background using what we call like A to A technology and MCP servers. I don't want to get too far into the weeds because even people that know a lot about it go, I don't know how this all works. But
Yeah.
that yes, if you had this set up, it would go to there first and have that conversation because it's faster.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason why these tasks take so long is because it has to go out and find all of this information, read it all. And when I say read it all, it doesn't pick specifics. It just reads the entire website or
Yeah.
everything that's out there on this, reviews, anything that it can find. Now, if there was an agent to agent tech involved, it can ask that agent specifically of like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Do you have it? Yes, I have it. Here you go. It makes that process really fast and efficient. So when we start talking about like agent to agent commerce, that's what we're getting to, is that this will happen a lot faster than it does now. You can give agent mode things now, and it might take days for it to come back to you because it's just, there's a lot of information to go through. If you can make that process easier and simpler, guess what will happen? We'll use it more.
Yeah.
And that's like the adoption rate right now is because when we first started, it was like, can you help me write this email? And it bang, in seconds gave you something that was like, that's pretty good. That would have taken me X amount of time.
Right.
Now, if I would have said, give me this email, write me something, and it took 5 hours for it to come back, you're like, I could have done that in way less time than that. Like this is not helpful. So as these things get faster and faster and that like process gets easier and easier, the adoption rate is going to skyrocket.
Yeah. So let's talk about that agent to agent future. Um, Is it the case now where a tour company could go and hire a tech firm to build that agent on their side and kind of immediately be able to start taking agent to agent reservations, or do some other pieces have to fall into place first before we're ready to do that at scale?
Yeah, I mean, yes, that's possible right now, and a company like Satisfi Labs is someone that does things like that. Um, are we ready for wide-based agent to agent, you know, bookings coming in? No. Even with the firms that are, your Expedias and your Booking.coms, the way that works right now, you can do it. It's still really kind of clunky. And there's some pieces that haven't fallen into place, but again, it's the worst it's ever going to be today.
Hmm.
And it doesn't mean with the adoption rates that 12 months from now or 24 months from now, um, which is insane to say, that adoption rate is going to jump dramatically to the point where the way that we search for things today is very different than what we did 12 months ago.
Yeah.
Over
Yeah.
the I think it's like 70, almost 70% of first search queries right now are going through some sort of AI mode first, before it hits anything else, which from like a SEO, the way that we find and discover companies right now, it's already dramatically different than it was last year at this time.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about discoverability. You and I both came up through the time when you got business by getting the right keywords on your website and, uh, optimizing your search engine results, and that brought in the leads. Um, I don't very often go past that first AI result when I Google something now, because 90% of the time it's right and it's helpful. So how should travel companies be thinking about discoverability these days? And do they need to change the way they build their websites, they architect their websites, they deliver information on their websites?
Yes. So like what I don't want is, you don't need to abandon SEO right now. It's a hybrid mix of what's happening, and there's things that you can do internally right now, like structuring your data in a way like on the website that is very AI digestible, makes it easy for the large language models to find. Spreading that content across multiple channels, right, is another thing that you can do. Consistency. Um, there's a thing called like EAT scores, like experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Like the more of that content that you're flooding into the market, from you as the provider of these tours, the better off you're going to be. Um, the more structured your information on the website is, the easier it is for us to grab it from a scraping tool and then pull it in. So that's stuff that you can do right now without having to do anything. There's things in the future that are going to make this a lot easier, custom GPTs, storing your information in what we call like MCP servers, and all that just gives the ability for large language models to grab the information like instantly, instead of having to scrape it all, digest it, read it, and then determine. Um, so a lot of that is stuff that we can, do, and we're going to need to do moving into the future.
Yeah.
Like search right now is it's just really starting to get moving when it comes to AI generative optimization, whatever you want. I've seen it like AEO or GEO, whatever you want to call it. We have to start making those steps now. You don't need to fully go that way. We have at Satisfi Labs, if you go to our website, it's different than probably anything that you've seen out there. It is just a conversation. So if you go to it, you can get to the classic site from there, but for the most part, it's going to start a conversation with you, make it really easy, almost ChatGPT style, to give you the information that you want. And then if you say, yeah, I would like to talk to Dan Flores, I heard him on a podcast, and like, I want a demo from him. Like you can do that within the conversation of our website. So that's where we think this is moving towards.
Yeah, that is cool in a lot of ways. I do want to talk about the big scary side of this that people get all freaked out about, and that is job replacement. Do you see this AI technology being really disruptive in travel careers, or maybe putting those small tourism entrepreneurs out of business?
I actually see it doing the opposite.
Hmm.
Um, Now there's two things to that, right? Like our job positions going to be different? Yes. Are there some that's going to be eliminated because you don't need them anymore? Absolutely. Now, what you do with those people is, you know, there's touch points that we talk about. There's all these things that were like, if I heard this 1,000 times in the last like couple of months, if I had time, I would do this.
Mhm.
Okay, well now these people aren't doing the repetitive, automated things that you've done now with AI. Can you put them on doing these things? What really wins in the future is having really good companies, really good process. That always stands out above any type of technology. Now, is that going to shake things up? 100%. Because I think that there's going to be companies that see the easy writing on the wall, which is, oh, we're going to slash out this department. Where I would say, yeah, you could slash out that department, but where could we put these people to then make our company and our service levels through the roof to be the best at what we do? That's who's going to win. Now, from a small tour operator or small entrepreneur, AI does the opposite. It actually gives you the opportunity. It democratizes scale.
Mm.
We're seeing more solo entrepreneurs build companies that they couldn't build in that time frame right now, are becoming literally like millionaires within such a small amount of time because they can use AI to build all these things. They don't have to have the cash flow to then hire all of these people to do it. They can do a lot of it on their own. It makes 2 people, 3 people, 5, 6 people operations can operate if they had 18, 20, 25 people.
Wow.
That actually gives, I think, smaller companies such a big opportunity to then go up against some of the big guys that are out there that just throw money at problems now. They go, oh, we'll just hire a bunch of people to go do this stuff. These companies now that say, all right, let's put an AI workflow or process together to make my team of 6 unstoppable or feel like it's 25 people. That's pretty cool, especially when you look at like the travel industry as a whole are being a lot of small to medium sized companies. We all know the big guys that like run everything, right? But there's
Right.
only a handful of those. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of small to medium sized businesses that now can operate like they're 3 or 4 times the size.
Yeah. I love that idea of democratizing scale. That's good news for our industry. And I hope people will take all of this to heart and take advantage of it. Dan, what's the best place for people to follow you, find you, learn more about Satisfy Labs and how they might be able to work with you?
Yeah, our website, satisfylabs.com. You can get to any one of the myself or any other departments and team members. On LinkedIn, I try to get to most of the questions that come through on the messaging side. So please reach out to me. And yeah, we would love to talk to you about how to help. Um, there's a lot of information on the website and that we provide to tour operators of what questions that you should ask AI vendors when vetting them.
Yeah.
When do I build versus when do I buy? And I'm very open to helping any type of tourism business on hey, what tools should we be using? What tools do you guys use? I think that's always helpful. Now you need to go out there and like test and kind of play around. Like I use an AI deck builder that is one of my favorites, but there's like 10 really good ones. This one was just the easiest and first one that I found that was user friendly, and I really like it. So I'm open to taking all types of questions like that.
Yeah. Fantastic. Now, before I let you go, we have some questions we ask everybody, and these are just
All
for
right.
fun. So no pressure. When you travel, do you book a window seat or an aisle seat?
Window all the way.
Yeah. Just you like the view or you like to sleep?
No, honestly, I worked for an aviation company. I don't like to fly very much.
Yeah.
And there's something about looking out the window. I think it's a control thing. Like, oh, look, everything looks fine. I'm all good. That calms me. So I've always been a window person.
Okay. Makes sense. What is one thing in your carry-on that you wouldn't travel without?
Phone charger.
Yeah. That's essential.
Yeah.
Can't get far without that, for sure.
No.
If you had a free airline pass and a week with nothing else to do, where would you, and let's say you can take the family, where would you and the family go?
Ooh, I I love um London.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of my favorite cities, and Jessica and I have been there, but I haven't taken the little one. So if I was given that for this week, I would go because it's also amazing during December for Christmas. The entire city's lit up, so I would jump on a plane and head over.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, a related question maybe to that. What is one thing you have seen or done on the road that you wish you could go back and experience again with somebody you love?
Um, this was probably 10 years ago. I was on a sales mission and got to go to Oktoberfest in Munich. Um, it was an amazing experience. The scale of just how big it was insane. I would love to experience that with. I had a good time with the people I was with, but actually taking some people from my personal life would be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan, it's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us.
Brian, I really appreciate it, man.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us for this interview. I want to let you know that conversations like this are just part of what you will hear if you tune into a full episode of the Gather and Go podcast. When you listen, you'll get travel news you may not hear anywhere else, along with some really helpful road tips, some smart analysis, and maybe even a hot take from me about issues that are impacting travel right now. Now, you can hear this full episode along with many others by searching for Gather and Go in your favorite podcast player, or you can click on the link right below this video or one of the videos right here to my side. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.